Press conference. With me here is the senior leadership of the MDCT. We have our chairperson, Senator Morgan Komichi, our Secretary General, Honorable Paulina Mpariwa, our organizing secretary, Honorable Gift Chimanikire, as well as our spokesperson, presidential spokesperson. Vovo is here, but Vovo is always there with the people. So we have Honorable Mwonzora with us. Yesterday, the Zimbabwe Election Commission announced the official results in respect of the by-elections that were held on the 26th of March. What is clear from the result of these elections is that the MDCT and the MDC Alliance did not do well in these elections. Obviously, one way or the other, we did not get our act together. We also note that these by-elections were some of the most apathetic in Zimbabwe's post-independence history. It is clear that by not turning up to vote, the majority of the Zimbabwean electorate are communicating a clear message to the political leadership of the country. This message is underpinned by the growing disillusionment of the electorate in elections under the current conditions. However, we wish to congratulate those that have emerged victors in these elections, and we hope that we will be able to work together well in Parliament and in the Council. Our collective duty is to the Zimbabwean people first and foremost. As the MDC Alliance, we respect the wishes of the electorate as expressed in these by-elections. What remains very clear to us is the need for serious electoral reforms in this country. As the MDCT and the MDC Alliance, we are going back to the drawing board as we make serious preparations for 2023 elections. Our party has everything that it needs to win elections. To that end, we have lined up a lot of key meetings of key organs of our party throughout the week. This is meetings of the National Standing Committee, National Executive, National Council of the MDCT, as well as the Principals Forum for the MDC Alliance. We remain committed to our values of social democracy. We also remain committed to dialogue as a main vehicle to deal with the social, political, and economic problems bedeviling our country, Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, President, for the short and precise press statement. Now, members of the 40 states, this is your opportunity. Number will give you the numbers. I think we'll start 1 to 5, then 1 to 5. And number will allocate you the numbers.
Maybe three.
Okay, I'll start from the left to the side. Number 1, number 2, number 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Effort to secure SABC News. You said your party has everything it needs to win an election. Yet the results of the election says your party has nothing in terms of winning. I mean, where are you getting the confidence? What gives you the confidence that you can win any other election when you have failed to win anything in this current election?
He read my mind, but I'll put a rider to it. What went wrong? Because in some cases we had one vote. In some cases less than one.
For the benefit of everyone, your name?
Columbus Mavunga, VOA TV. Sorry.
Columbus?
Columbus Mavunga, VOA TV.
Okay. Number 3.
My name is Tony. I'm with Checkmate TV. I need to ask Senator Mwonzora, are you going to be reconsidering your strategy, specifically you coming out as the MDC Alliance, MDCT, kept going back to the origins of you as an opposition, with working with Advocate Nelson Chamisa, are you going to be having this as part of your considerations so that you work forward as a better party for the people?
That was more friendlier than I thought.
This is the first question. Second is coming.
So I can, yes. Oh, thank you very much. The question by Msekiwa, SABC, what gives us the confidence? What gives us the confidence, number one, is the behavior, electoral behavior of the MDC throughout history. The electoral behavior of the MDC throughout history is cyclical, up, down, up, down, up, down. In 2000, MDC went it was up. It almost won the majority in parliament. In 2005, it went down. In 2008, it went up. In 2013, it went down. In 2018, in the presidential race, it went up. And in this by-election, it has gone down. And we are confident that it will go up come next election. What is important is that people did not go to vote. The mobilization of people to go and vote did not seem to work. And we are confident that we will be able to mobilize our people to go and vote. So we will be able to come up with the specific strategies that we are going to be using. Mavunga, you ask what went wrong. What went wrong, of course, is that there was too much apathy. We did not redress the issue of apathy. Theoretically, if everybody in the structures of the MDC had voted in Harare, you are looking at an average of 128 officials per ward, 46. And one way or the other, for one reason or the other, those people did not go and vote. So the greatest problem was apathy. We are also going to be looking at other things like messaging, other things like the particular strategy that we adopted in this very election, which was different from the strategies that we have used traditionally. We thought it was a novel strategy, and I'm sure that when the elections department and the chairman's office, the election directorate, look at these methods, they will revise them. So the versatility of the MDC, the never say die attitude of the MDC, it's very, very good strategic potency, gives us the confidence. We got our strategy wrong, and somebody was saying that how come you got strategies wrong? And here's my answer: Lionel Messi misses a penalty, doesn't he? Maradona misses a penalty, doesn't he? So strategists can get strategies wrong as well. So Tonio, thank you very much, and I'm happy to see you here. The MDC has always said that it is prepared to work with all progressive forces for the total liberation of our people, for the total democratization of Zimbabwe. And we remain open to work with all democratic forces, all progressive forces, and already in the alliance we are working with some, and so on. Regarding specifically Advocate Chamisa and his team, a lot depends, of course, on them, on their attitude towards us. There is nothing really personal between myself and Mr. Chamisa as people. There is nothing personal about it. And after all, what is important is not what I think about him or what he thinks about me. What is important is what Zimbabweans do want, and we will wait to see what will happen as we go with this journey towards 2023.
Okay, second round. 1, 2, 3.
Lion Tiri from Institute. Were you satisfied with the conduct of SAFE, considering the allegations that there were discrepancies within the voters?
Number 2.
Gibson, you guys dinner from Herald. I think I have 2 questions deal with me, Senator. While you spoke of voter apathy, but it seems in the quest of voter apathy, some other contesting parties, they also managed to salvage seats. So do you not think the failure by the MDC Alliance or MDC-T to retain any single seat in these by-elections is an indictment on your failure to articulate and come to a common ground with your former friends, if I can use that term, who are now in TPC? Do you not feel this is the greatest indictment on your leadership qualities? A question. Then secondly, last time you said once the by-elections are over, you are going to start the process of dialogue with President Emerson Mnangagwa. Do you still hold that position? Because last time you were saying you want dialogue as soon as possible. What movements have you made so far? Because last time you were saying they are yet to respond to your proposals. Thank you.
Number 3.
Sophia Mapranga, I'm a freelance journalist. My question, President, is yesterday there was a letter that was doing the rounds where your other alliance partners apparently ditched you for over failing to get a single seat. Could you react to that?
Let me start with that because it's you, Sophia. The letter you are talking about was not written by alliance partners. The letter you are talking about was apparently written by Mr. Bomani, who is Secretary General of the Zimbabwe People's First. We suspect that the letter is fake because Mr. Bomani is not even in the country. We have phoned around and no one seems to know anything about it, and we think that the letter is fake, and we know that for the alliance there are 2 important organs that sit to make decisions like the one that is being referred to in the letter. We have the liaison committee, which is a committee of all the secretary generals of the alliance. It is a committee that is chaired by us, by Senator Komich. That is chaired, is it you or? Yeah, it's Senator Komich. That committee did not sit, and then the committee of the alliance principals is scheduled to sit this week. Those are the 2 committees that can deal with issues like that. So we suspect that it was somebody who is just up to mischief and so on. It's not an official letter at all. Mr. Nyikadzino, the failure of the MDC to get a single seat. Now, failure is failure. Even if we had got 1 seat, or 2 seats, or 3 seats, wouldn't have really mattered. What mattered is that we did not perform well, and because we did not perform well, we must get our act together, and we are sitting down this week, the entire of this week, getting our act together, looking at what we did not do right. And I am very, very confident that we will come up with a formula, a strategy that will take us to victory. It had nothing to do with our relationship with anybody. After all, our relationship with ZANU-PF, our relationship with the Triple C was irrelevant because we were contesting each other. So even if we were smiling at each other, we were still contesting. We were still going to be vying for the same voters and so on. So our relationship with anyone was irrelevant. Dialogue, yes, we remain committed to dialogue, and we will push dialogue with more vigor. And we are fortified by what happened in this election. That dialogue is really, really important. Remember, there were incidents of violence, politically motivated violence in Epworth, in Gokwe, in Chikwekwe, where we actually had a loss of life. Because of the election. We had also incidences where we were not given the green light to hold political meetings in a province where the president was also holding his meetings. And I did raise that in Parliament, in the Senate, and so on. Those are some of the things that need to be looked at. Those are some of the things that need to be sorted out when we do electoral reforms. The reformation of ZEC, yes, ZEC has to be reformed, of course. We need, especially, to deal with the issue of the committees under ZEC. Yes, there is that commission. Yes, there is the secretariat, and we have made sufficient representation regarding the secretariat of ZEC. But we do have underneath ZEC the key committees, the logistics committee, the accreditation committee, etc., which are over-dominated by the executive. And we think that there is need for reform. You will also see, ladies and gentlemen, that the apathy is a cause of concern to us in the opposition. If you look at just as an example, the combined vote of the 9 constituencies won by the opposition, the votes are 128,399. That is the vote scored by the opposition, the combined vote. If you look, sorry, the 9 constituencies by ZANU-PF, 9 constituencies by ZANU-PF, you have 128,399 according to our calculations. Total number of votes that they were able to secure. The combined vote in 19 constituencies of the won by the opposition is 129,000 votes, 799. Almost the same. And these are 19 seats, and these are 9 seats. And the result, the amount of votes, positive votes, is almost the same. That is a cause of concern to us as the opposition, and obviously that's going to be one of the things that we'll look at when we do our strategic meetings this week. The conduct of ZEC, it was asked by, I think it was, you're hiding. Well, this is still subject matter to a few internal processes that we are having here. We have had a few candidates who are raising a few issues, and we are going to be looking to that. So we will be able to give you a more comprehensive answer when we have a session with those candidates. There are certain complaints that they are raising. We haven't verified them yet. But what is important is that the election management body must act fairly, it must act impartially, and so on. And I think the evaluation of ZEC, we will do it in due course. But there is a lot of things that need to be done. I have heard a few complaints that were raised by other political parties. We have no reason to doubt those complaints. And therefore, it is an indictment on ZEC that they must put their act together. But what is important is that there is need for electoral